Hey, it's Ronsley, and in this video I'm going to show you what we did in the last couple of videos and bring it all together and show you how to export your mp3 file after you've added your intro and your outro and whatever else. So in the last video, if you notice, we stopped here where we had the whole recording of the interview, whatever it was. This was my Clubhouse panel that we were talking about. We topped and we've tailed it. We've removed background noise. We've made sure that the levels are all correct and they don't go above -3 decibels. We did that in the last couple of videos. So now I'm going to show you how to add your ingredients to your file to export to mp3. So let's do this. First, I already have this in a preview, so you'll see I'm going to record this on Should I Start a Podcast, and I have a template for it. So I'm going to click on this Adobe Audition file, which is a Should I Start a Podcast template. And what will happen is it shows you, or it shows me, a whole bunch of ingredients that I need to make my my episode. So here up the top is my starting. What I'm going to do is I am going to copy these two things, Control C, and I'm going to come back to the panel. And I want to place that here. It's just allowed me to put my intro straight into this file that had my interview. So the first thing is I'm going to add a track. I'm going to call this track music. I'll call this Ronsley. And this is Clubhouse guests. So you know exactly where things are at. I'm just going to take this two waveforms, which is the music, and I want to bring that here. So I know that my music is on a separate track, and it doesn't get, it's not being interfered by the volume that I've set for this track. So I have the introduction. I'm gonna copy these. I'm gonna just select these two clips and I'm gonna group them like before. Command G. So now these when I move them, these move together. First, the way my show works in particular is I have an introduction where I introduce the show and say this is what's happening, this is what's gonna come. And then the normal introduction with music and intro and all that kind of stuff comes next. And then the music fades and then my episode begins. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to record really quickly the introduction to this this particular panel episode, right? So for that to happen, I am going to go into inputs and outputs, and you'll notice here under Ronsley it says no input. I'm going to change that to be my input coming in, so you'll hear my microphone, so you'll see this level. See, you'll notice this level. And then what I'm also going to do is just going to move this further down the track, only so that I can record here. And I know that in this particular panel, we discussed batching, and we discussed how to get better engagement using different forms of batching. So I'm going to record this really quickly. So you'll hear me record it straight away. All right. Hey, welcome to another episode of Should I Start a Podcast? Today, as always, that was bad. Let me do that again. Hey, it's Ronsley, and welcome to Should I Start a Podcast? Today is a Clubhouse panel all around. I don't know why I'm looking into this camera, but I'm going to reduce my volume just a little bit so that it's not peaking. All right. Hey, it's Ronsley. Welcome to Should I Start a Podcast? And in this episode, we are going deep into batching. Every podcaster needs to know the secrets to batching because it gets a lot of stuff done. And today, my panelists have a lot of experience in batching, a lot of experience in business, and a lot of experience in podcast creation. So join me as we go deep into batching, into rituals, and into creating really good content so that our audience engages with our podcast. Enjoy this episode. So I know that the first part was rubbish, so I'm going to just go in here and I am going to mark this, split it, Command K. I'm going to highlight this first part, remove the first part, and I know this is going to come at the start. So this is at the start, and then the rest of my ingredients start to merge. So how it's going to work is I have this intro which I just recorded, then my music will start, followed by the episode. So how it's going to sound, let me... When I say enjoy this episode, I actually want all this stuff to come in a lot quicker. So I'm going to move all that here. So here's what happened, right? I recorded the intro. I know that our intro is fine, but I still want to record a little bit at the start to give it more context. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record just a little bit again. So I'm going to make space for that. I'm just going to move all my waveforms further down, come back here, and I'm going to record this part again. When you join this episode, you'll hear Anna Vicino talking about how she finally got her sauces into grocery stores. It's an amazing journey. Anna's been a podcaster for over 12 years now, I'm pretty sure, and has been in radio and voiceover talent before. So this is Anna at the start of our conversation on batching. So I'm just giving context because I would like that to happen so that my audience is aware. So I'm going to start with my normal introduction. And then I'm just going to move this part away. And so So now I'm happy. I'm happy with the intro. It's just under 1 minute. I know it's everything I have to say, and then I'm going to group it together. So that's grouped. So I have my intro. Now, after my intro is done, as soon as my intro is getting done, I would like my music to start. And then as soon as my music, my voice finishes, I want the interview to start. So that's how it's going to go. So we have my intro, which is going to end here. And that's the intro. And at the end of the intro, so amazing. So now I have the front of my episode done, and I'm going to save it. So Command S will save it. And I'm just going to say yes to everything and just save it. And so now I want the ending of my podcast sorted. So I'm going to go back into my sysapp template. And at the end here, you'll see I have this, which is my outro. I'm just going to copy that. So if you notice, there's a whole bunch of stuff that got pasted here. What I'm going to do is is I'm going to mark these and just delete them because I don't want them. I just need the outro right now. So here is the outro. This is how it's going to end, I think. Now I have all my ingredients and my files. So I've got my intro, I've got my music for my intro, then I've got my episode, and then I've got my outro with my music. And now my whole episode is done and it's ready to be exported. So I'm going to export this in Adobe Audition. So I'm going to go to File, Export, Multi-track Session, Entire Session, right? Now when I'm here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this. I'm going to go batching sysapp, which is should I start a podcast? I want it in mp3. I want it in exactly here, 4410 hertz, exactly what it says here. And then here, I'm going to change my mix down options and I'm going to make sure that it's all in mono, which was already set up because that's the way we've created it. I'm just going to make sure that your mix is going out in mono, so it's not on two separate channels. It's all on one channel, and we're going to go okay. And it's exporting all that, putting it together. Now, if we go to downloads, you'll see the mp3 file that we've just made, which looks lovely.